Welcome to Docs Investing RX Season 3. I have a special guest for me, Pablo. Hope you enjoy this episode. Pablo, how are you?
Oh my gosh, this is so tangled. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. We've
Last
been trying to
echo
record
too.
this podcast for a couple weeks, man. What have you been doing?
I know, man. I've been skiing.
You skating every weekend?
Yeah, dude, I was skiing. Actually, 2 weekends in a row or 3 weekends in a row.
No. I'm not mad, man. That's
I
good.
went to
You got to
Breckenridge.
enjoy life.
I
Yeah.
know, man. I'm
Are you
trying.
rich? Are you rich?
I'm rich in spirit.
Rich is very. It sound speaking skiing is not cheap, man. And you've been flying out, right? Was it
Yeah.
Vancouver or Canada or somewhere?
Yep. Went to Vancouver. You know, man, my portfolio won't tell you I'm rich, but I have a few stocks that are doing okay. But no, mostly I've been getting crushed, man. Been getting crushed. I'm in a lot of software. Um,
Ooh.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of AI infrastructure stuff that's gotten crushed, except for Vertiv. Vertiv has been an outlier in my portfolio. I'm also in a bunch of cybersecurity, which has been getting crushed. But man, Vertiv has been great. Of
Yeah, no,
course,
that's definitely solid stock. The thing is with the software, breakdown, it's affected software stocks, cybersecurity stocks, and the whole thought is, hey, AI agents are going to be taken over, right? AI is going to take over everything. So, did you pivot or are you diamond handed? You're holding everything.
so let me let me pull my portfolio up and kind of just tell you where I'm at is in terms of holdings. Um,
You've been busy skiing. I'm not sure if you made any changes.
I haven't made any
You just kind of
changes.
that's probably the
So
way to go, honestly.
all I've been doing is buying more. So I bought 100 more shares of Amazon. So Amazon's my biggest. And then
But I don't consider Amazon a software stock. That's not a stock.
no, it's
Amazon's
not.
not going to get replaced very quickly or very
No,
easily.
it's not going anywhere. In fact,
If
they're going to
anything, I think that's
be
going to be the lead the wave, right? They're going to be a leader.
I hope so. I'd like to think so. Amazon, Snowflake, which Snowflake same thing, AI data cloud kind of data. Honestly, I think Snowflake's growing from AI. AI is enabling Snowflake to get better, right? Because it helps you sort your data and make your data more useful. So they've been leveraging AI. CrowdStrike, big holding. A Lab, big holding. I've added Zscaler and Rubrik lately because those two are both secure cybersecurity. Agentic AI will allow for more cyber attacks. More cyber attacks. It's going to be more important to have high security. So security's not going anywhere, in my opinion. I feel like we're only going to need security more. I've been buying more. Let's see, what else have I added? I was going to ask you. I meant to check this. I didn't get a chance to yesterday. What got added to the S&P? Um, oh, wow. Ver,
What do you?
Veritiv?
Nice. Well, that's you, right?
Yeah, I have 100, I
Also,
have
it must have been ripping.
position. Let me
Yeah.
check. Let me see what
What
it did
else?
after hours. Veritiv, Lumentum, Coherent, and EchoStar are the newest entrants.
Dude,
Um,
I have a boatload of Coherent and Lumentum. Again, both big AI plays.
Really? That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Okay. Um,
It's a in fact, I have a docs and that I got a docs investing picks list, and
I would love to hear about your
those are
docs
2 on there.
investing pick list.
You wanna
Okay,
know my
cool.
list? You wanna
Yeah,
know my list? I'll
brother.
tell you my list right now. Alright, let's do this. So I got Marvell,
Okay.
which just ripped after earnings, okay? I got Netflix, and again, I had this Netflix before the backing away of the Warner Brothers deal. I have Broadcom, Apple, Nvidia, Taiwan Semis, Celestica, Micron, Coherent, and Lumentum.
Okay. And so tell me about Coherent and Lumentum.
So, Coherent and Lumentum are your AI data center player, right? And so they're the
Are
ones
they
that create the
okay?
lasers and light, yeah, and so as part of the laser plays with data centers and transmission of information, uh, utilizing the GPUs and pluggables. Now, they also will be a player in the future. So the thing is, right, transmitting information over a distance, right, over wiring, heat generation, and you lose information over distance, correct? So the future is light. Light can travel large distances without loss of information. and lower heat generation. So the future's light. So Lumentum, Coherent, they're involved now. They're going to be involved in the future. I love them,
They must
and
have
that's why I'm a big
I'm
player
gonna
in.
okay, well, while
And
we're
that's why
on the
I'm a big
chat,
player in Broadcom and Marvell. Also, a step ahead and getting involved with the co-package optics.
mind if while we're chatting, I pull up some charts? I would just like
If
to
you have to,
look at you mind?
that's fine. Why?
Is it
Let's just
okay?
stop the call. No, no. Let's just
Oh,
watch you look up charts.
I well, I would love to check out the charts of these stocks because we can talk about key kind of support levels on some of them. What are the tickers for Coherent and Lumentum?
COHR and LITE. Yo, is this really
Okay.
necessary right now? We're in the middle of a podcast, bro.
Bro, I'm just looking at the
Let's talk about
cars.
markets. Like, well,
Okay.
so you've been busy skiing. Have you even been paying attention to the markets? Like, do you
No,
know what's
I
been happening
haven't
right now?
been.
You know, there's a war right now, right? You know,
Yeah.
we attacked.
So I did see the close on Friday. Very interesting VIX spike and a very
Yeah,
interesting I mean, you've got the crude oil is trading like a penny stock. It's just like shot up, which is
I know.
horrifying for inflation. And economic data Friday was terrible. You see the non-farm payroll report? That's
Yeah,
bad.
no, and the question is this the start of AI replacing jobs, right? I mean, our jobs are going to be out there anymore because of AI. Now, of course, you're going to need electricians, plumbers, etc. I don't unless robots start doing the work, but for now, I mean the future is here, and we really have to adjust. But with the
So
market shifting, the volatility, I just don't know what to make of it anymore. Is this all distraction from Epstein files or what?
yeah, man.
I'm just saying. I'm just
Okay.
saying.
My other kind of thought is that, well, one, I kind of think this whole war is because of distraction of Epstein files. Um, the other thing I'm thinking is that the only thing I can think about is that the US is trying to put themselves in a position to where they know that China has a monopoly on rare earths. Okay. They're looking at how much oil does China have and what are China's energy needs and what are their oil needs. And then they're saying, where is China getting their oil? And a lot of it's from Iran and a lot of it's from Venezuela. Who have we gone after in the last 3 months? Venezuela. We fully control $17 trillion of crude oil. Um, Now, who are we going after? This whole of like, they don't even know why the US government keeps saying, like, Trump will go on and he'll say, well, it's for regime change. Oh, they're 10 days away from having a nuclear weapon. I thought they did that. I thought they took care of that. I thought they destroyed
Correct.
their,
Yeah.
it's
No,
all nonsense. So, uh, who, who kind of controls Trump?
I don't know.
And,
I mean, you got to
and
say it. And, you know, you look at the Epstein files and there's a lot of
there's a lot
information
of,
in there and a lot of, yeah, somebody's name
redacted.
redacted. It pops up thousands,
More
thousands
times
of
than Harry
times.
Potter in Harry Potter. You know, the
That's
other thing that's
insane.
super interesting is that kind of have like this. By the way, I'm happy and alive and well, and I am
No suicidal thoughts?
not suicidal at all.
Okay.
The other thing I'm kind of thinking is that, when we so our biggest, we are like fully head on creating our economy. 40% of the S&P 500 is the Magnificent Seven, and they're all pivoting towards AI too. All of them, right? Every single one of those companies is pivoting towards how can we leverage AI? How can we make our company stronger from AI? Because they realize how replaceable they could become. Um,
As a
so
side
they're
note, they've all done layoffs, not added jobs, but laid off people. All those big tech companies. So that's all a key point right there too.
right. And the other thing is they're spending. The capex has gone up. So are companies going to continue this capex, or are they going to say, well, we're not seeing the ROI yet on any of this money spent, but they need to? Like Zuckerberg, he's literally said, I would rather go bankrupt than lose this. I'd rather lose a few $100 billion than lose this race. And same thing with Google. They've said, we would rather like lose our company than lose this race because they realize how replaceable their company is if they lose this race, right? So, again, brings me back to geopolitics. Where are all of the chips made?
No, I
It's one
I think what
island.
you have, and on top of that, you going back to the energy chokehold. Most of Asia, right, gets their oil and natural gas from the Middle East. So if you do choke that off, then we've seen it with the Korean markets. Despite Korea not being involved in this war, this attack against Iran, their markets are tanking, right? And so you see that in the EWY dropping down. But you still have Russia as an asset out there for those folks to get their oil from. But the infrastructure is not there yet. So you're right. I think a lot of this is a bigger geopolitical, positioning. How much of this is distraction from the Epstein files and what's going to come down from that. But changes
Yeah,
are definitely coming over the next, 5 to 10 years dramatically with AI and the AI revolution. And I think as investors, we definitely have to pivot for that. But all these distractions and so forth, we kind of have to keep on keeping on. But I kind of have to disagree with you on software. I just don't think software is where it's at. I think you're going to start noticing a drop, a declining growth as people start to understand AI and how to do it on their own. But with that said, I think you still need management of these AI
yeah. I mean,
agents, right?
I okay. So to your point of software, yes, software and yes, some software is replaceable even today. I think cybersecurity is totally a way to invest. I think you need to invest in cybersecurity because agents are not companies are not going to give Claude. They're not going to give the enterprise companies are not going to just give the keys to the castle to protect their data to Claude. They just won't. Uh, Cybersecurity attacks will, as more code is created through AI, data protection and data creation is going to exponentially grow. I mean, not quintuple. It's going to be even bigger than that. It's going to be bigger than even imaginable. The data creation every millisecond will become what we've created in all of humankind, of human history. Data is going to get even more and more and more prevalent. You need to protect it, and you need to be able to sort through it. I think that's true. That's why I'm investing in CrowdStrike, Zscaler, and Rubrik. The other thing, I've been buying Amazon because they really, I feel like Amazon's robotic leg can replace 100,000 workers, and I think that their margins will go up. I think that their cloud growth is crazy. I think they're building out AI data centers left and right. Um, I think that they are positioning themselves really well, and I don't know if the market chooses to not appreciate it, or I'm not really quite sure. I
No, no, what's happening right now, remember, is what you just said, the
CapEx,
CapEx spend.
CapEx.
Exactly. So everyone who's spending right now, whether you're Amazon, Meta, Google, Microsoft, these guys are all spending on their data centers and they're getting punished for it because those profits are being spent, right? And again, they're cash cows. So again, is the long
They're
game,
investing. To
they're
me,
reinvesting in themselves.
I'm an investor and I like to buy something. I don't think it's possible really to invest I don't think you can buy an individual stock and hold it for 10 years anymore because the world and technology is changing too rapidly. But like for example, the trade desk used to be a darling of Wall Street. It was an S&P 500. Uh Stock's like $26 now. I mean, I have had shares. I have bought shares. I had a $35 cost basis, rode it all the way up to 130 and never sold. And now and I ended up selling it at like $60. I mean, come on, like that stock's trading for $25 now. Like it's crazy. And you know, software is changing so rapidly. I do agree. Software is not really the play, but I think that AI infrastructure, like, come on, Vertiv, like VRT ripped since earnings. They they've grown so much so quickly. A Lab, same thing. They're growing like crazy. These are hyper growth companies. I mean, not Vertiv, but A Lab is a hyper growth company. It's grown over 100% each year. It's insane. I mean, there's going to be so many companies like those that are beneficiaries for the AI build out, but not only the AI build out, once AI is just like, first of all, AI build out will always be happening. We're not going to like get to a steady state build out point. I think it's going to continue to expand and expand, but energy needs are like, we're going to need more energy. We're going to need more cooling capacity. We're going to need to find out ways to make everything more efficient. So I don't know, like there's going to be so many industries and so many jobs created because of AI that people don't know about yet. And it will force our populations to become more nimble. You can't just get a job and have the same job for 50 years like your grandpa did. You're going to have to be more nimble. That society's going to have to adapt to change. And if you don't adapt, you will die and you will be on food stamps. So, who's going to pay for food stamps? That is going to be the big question.
Well, that's quite the, analysis of the future projections here. So, what are you doing in terms of pivoting? I mean, you think about what AI is gonna do for us, and, Elon Musk is saying that he's gonna build out Optimus robots to do all the manual labor. He says that, doctors are gonna get replaced. He's saying that a lot of professions are gonna get replaced. Again, I'm not sure how true all that's gonna be. It may take some time, but, I'm a bit optimistic. I think that the
I'm an
society will
optimist.
pivot. Yeah, I think society will pivot. I think we'll be okay, but it's gonna be a much different world 10 years from now.
So the world will be different, but I don't think the world will be worse. I think the world will be better. I think these pessimistic articles freak people out and they sell. I don't know, man. You ever heard of this saying? It's like you you see something happen and you're like, this time around, I feel like I'm a more kind of this time around, meaning I think I'm just a more patient investor to where I don't let the headlines freak me out. I'm kind of like the world has always figured out ways to innovate and become better. We're good at that. That's what we do. So for me to think that suddenly everything's going to go to shit, I just don't like to. Pessimism sells. Every single news article is pessimistic. It sells. That's what sells. I like to focus on, oh, how will our lives improve? How are humans' lives going to improve? I think there's many ways. Hopefully, medicine will have more gene specific medicine. AI will enable more gene specific medicine because what is code? What is DNA? It's code. You and I are just code. So if you think about what AI can do better, it can help us with medical advancement, data analysis can what used to take us months of data analysis and interpretation can take minutes now. So it's just like only going to get better. Um, to have AI use the entire human history, knowledge of human history to help make decisions can make life better. I don't know. I think it's scary. And I think what is scary is that when you've got the US government pressuring Anthropic to try to do mass surveillance, that's scary.
No, I agree with you, and, unfortunately, I think this has been going on for a long time. We have been revealed about the NSA and how they do private data collection, but, most people are like, "I don't have anything to hide. I'm okay with the government monitoring my activities," which I think is just an incredible, opportunity lost in that if people are willing to sacrifice all of their rights to the government and just let the government control everything you see and hear. Now remember, social media, right? You look at the social media that's out there. Zuckerberg, Musk, and now even TikTok, right? People are getting a lot of information out of TikTok, if you remember, about things like genocide, etc. And guess what? TikTok gets sold out to Larry Ellison, another billionaire. So again, the media is being controlled, social media is being
Yeah.
controlled. So if people don't start thinking for themselves, start and investing with a clear head, everything you see is manipulated, right? Everything's being corroborated in certain ways. The government is altering your reality, and so it's very important to everyone kind of stay lucid in that.
I read something really interesting the other day talking about confirmation bias and through media. So you see a reel and the reel has maybe some truth or not, or maybe not. Maybe it's just like bogus news. And you watch it and then the algorithms are designed to keep showing you that information. So you watch 12 videos in a row about XYZ being true, like, oh, the grass is actually blue. By the 10th video, your brain is basically like it has trouble discerning what's true. So it's very important for just mankind to like kind of step back and actually just take breaks from technology. I think it's really healthy. When I was skiing, my buddies, like I had a blast in not being on my phone, not looking at the market. Like it's really healthy to get off of social media. But yeah,
Hard even now with AI. I think AIs can, you see some of these AI videos and pictures, and now you're like, "I'm not even sure if this is real." Like, I'm not sure what I'm looking at anymore and what's
Yeah.
real and what's not. Deep fakes, etcetera. It's just getting better
Only gonna get
in
worse
that
for
quality.
election time. It's only gonna get worse during election time. I am worried about that. I'm worried about AI interference in our elections. It's a potential, right? Like, um, people can leverage AI to figure out how they can manipulate elections. Um, yeah, there's a lot of things, right? And I think also we have to I think it's going to become more important as investors if we want to invest in individual stocks, we're going to have to be very nimble. Um, if narratives change, yeah, it is important to say, hey, maybe like I shouldn't hold this stock. Hit the sell button. Be less scared to sell. Uh, and think be willing to sell. But also, I think it's also more important to have the index be a huge part of your portfolio. And so I was kind of thinking, well, my whole thing was in the beginning, like YOLO. I'm super young. I need to be aggressive and I need to invest in individual stocks. Now, as I turn into my now I get as I get into my 30s, I'm going to start doing a lot more indexing and just play the long game and just be in the market and be willing to be in the market and be willing to be less aggressive on leverage because it's more important to not get disrupted.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of throw this one at you. So looking forward with the AI infrastructure, and you mentioned energy needs. One that I like is something called XLU. It's the Utilities ETF, and I agree with you. I think going forward, energy needs are going to continue to grow and rise. And the great thing is it's a defensive stock. So if the stock market starts to tank back, guess what? Energy is still going to be needed, and it also pays a dividend. So I do, like being diversified in certain ETFs personally. So, um, I think, like you said, sometimes set it and forget it is the way to go. Like you mentioned, having the S&P index, but at the same time, you have to kinda keep your finger on the pulse and be ready to transition and pivot. You can't just set it and forget it. I mean, look at gold. I mean, just an incredible run.
Yeah.
And so, again, it was stagnant for a very long time, but it's finally got the pressure valve. So sometimes you just kinda have to be patient on it. So, really, if you believe in something, you have to just be patient.
I guess the other thing that's becoming more and more interesting is we have kind of, when you watch VIX spike up to 29 at the end of end of market close on Friday, I'm just kind of thinking to myself, well, this volatility never sustains over a long period of time, right? Always seeing volatility spikes. It happens. It's part of investing and it's part of trading. It actually leads to a lot of opportunity as a premium seller. Like this is kind of maybe a good time to sell some premium. Um,
So
you
you're talking
really,
about selling puts.
you can sell puts right now. This is not a bad time to be a put seller. I would just be careful, but because we're in an overall market downtrend right now, so you have to be careful. I mean, it's maybe a time to sell some covered calls and some of your like right now. I've got a bunch of Amazon. This is time for me to be selling covered calls on Amazon. Amazon's trading in a range. It's been range bound for over 2 years. When it breaks, it will rip, but
Yeah,
hasn't
no,
kind
going
of
back on Amazon, that's very classic, right? Some of these charts just go back and they stay stagnant. They stay range bound for a long time. That's the only downside of covered calls, right? Is if the stock finally decides to rip and break out, you may be left with your pants below your waist there. It
yeah.
happened to me with Intel, right?
You had a
Intel was
huge
a it
position.
was a I had a huge position, bought it when it tanked down to 19 bucks. I was just selling covered calls, living life,
I
enjoying that premium. Next thing you know, Trump's like, "We're buying Intel," and the stock rips, and next thing you know,
yeah
there goes all my shares. So,
yeah.
that's okay. At least, made a little cash money, so, yeah, you gotta be careful.
The thing with Intel is that was my best trade of the year last year was Intel. I had an unreal trade. I sold puts and bought calls for free. I
I
actually got
remember
paid to buy the
you
calls.
bought, like you bought, the stock was at, like, 20 bucks. You were buying $30 calls. I thought you were insane at the
And I
time.
actually got paid to buy them because I sold puts to finance the calls. I think I got paid 42 cents per contract. I put a 10 lot on. Wish I would have done a 100 lot. Put a 10 lot on.
Of course.
Got um Yeah, I mean, when I finally sold those calls, I sold them for like I bought them for 80 cents and I think I ended up selling them for over about $10 contract. They were yeah, I had bought the January 2026 Intel 30 strike and I bought it when Intel was 22 bucks or something. And I sold it whenever it was like, oh my God, just what a winning
So
trade.
Intel was your best trade last year?
I think Intel was my best trade.
My best trade was actually
Yeah.
gold.
Well, you
I
won
had
big then.
yeah, dude, I saw gold taking off. I had shared with others as well on after hour and so forth that, hey, gold looks intriguing here, and it was at 305 at the time, and so it started to climb up, and at 335 I started loading up calls, and next thing you know, it just rocketed, and so that was a nice
Was that a 10 bagger
payday by
trade?
oh, dude, I probably by the end of the year was I think 50 up, so it was a
50K.
solid trade. It was a
That's
nice trade.
that's a
I'm not complaining. No, I'm not complaining.
that's a great
Gold,
trade, Omar.
gold, gold was gold. Gold was golden.
Nice.
So
Do you buy physical gold?
no, the great I love GLD. So GLD is actually physical gold that's held in London vaults, right? So you can actually buy gold without having to deal with buying and selling it. So
Yeah,
GLD is like my
it's
play
nice.
like for life. What about this year? I gave you my Docs investing picks.
Yeah,
What are your what's your pick or picks here for this 2026? We're gonna mark
yeah.
this down. I'm gonna come back to it and
Well, I love Vertiv. I love Crowd right now. I think CrowdStrike had one of the best quarters in its company history. I love A-Lab right now. I think I'm either so wrong on A-Lab or I'm gonna be laughing when it's 250. Like it's either going to 80 or it's going to 250. Um,
okay.
DigitalOcean, I've been in that one for a long time, and it really underperformed for a long time, right? Uh, Absolute dog of a stock forever. It's finally kind of turning the corner.
So that's
Broke
your
out of its
pick.
super long base.
So
Yeah,
this is your conviction
huge.
pick right here.
It's been so.
So
It's been
Vertiv, Crowd,
those are those.
DigitalOcean,
So
A-Lab.
let me think of what else. Amazon, of course. I've been buying
Okay.
Amazon. I'm going to continue to buy Amazon. You know,
That's
like I
an
said,
that's not
Zscaler,
that's a nice pick.
Zscaler,
That's a
been
nice
buying
pick. Yeah.
Zscaler. Yeah, just kind of. I'm super big on cybersecurity. I think like I said, man. I really just am not convinced that that AI is going to replace cybersecurity. I just don't think that enterprises are going to trust it. Um, Meta, honestly, Meta's been kind of trading to where I really like it's getting punished for its capex, but I still think if you're willing to hold for a while, um, go for it. And then Intel. Intel, I would be all over Intel this year because America is not going to let chip production only be in Taiwan. They're That's why Trump's taken a huge position in Intel. I think you have to have Intel in your portfolio. If you don't have Intel in your portfolio, add Intel to your portfolio. Um,
Not financial advice though.
Not financial advice, but I would be adding Intel. I definitely have a large Intel position. It's probably one of my top three holdings.
Okay. Not bad. Shout out to Zuck by the way because the man was on AI and the metaverse long before anyone joined on. I still remember when he bought Oculus and it's been a dog, but it's slowly coming around. AR and
Say what you want
Meta and
about
so
him,
forth.
but
Yeah, it's
he's what do you think about Bitcoin? Are you off the Bitcoin train? Do you think Bitcoin is
the
thoughts
thing
around
is
Bitcoin?
with me is that when it comes to cryptocurrency, there was a utility for it, but I think there's too much involvement now, like with the governments and so forth. Anytime you get all these players coming in, now you got manipulation. I don't know if you read the headline about the Bitcoin involvement and manipulation by a massive player that they would purposely short the stock or short the asset every day. So again, I just don't trust the system in that way.
Yeah.
If I was gonna do currency alternative currency, I would do gold.
Yeah.
Gold has been generations. thousands of years, gold has
It's
been
got
the
the Lindy
asset.
effect. The Lindy effect. Have you heard of the Lindy effect?
No.
It's exactly what you just said. It's a Nassim Taleb um, kind of an idea where something is Lindy, and it's basically if it's been here for 1,000 years, you can say it's going to be here for 1,000 more. But gold, of course, has been here for many thousands of years, and it's been the first currency in recorded history, right? So gold is not going anywhere. The actual utility of gold is only going to be more valuable with AI.
Yeah, again, I mentioned GLD and the being able to
GLD baby.
buy and sell gold with pretty easily.
The
I mean, I could
problem
do it digitally.
is if people want something tangible, buying gold or buying, I don't know if you've seen, but like the luxury watch market in gold watches, like your gold Rolex President, it's worth 20% more this year than it was last year. Um, luckily,
Oh,
I,
absolutely.
luckily
Physical
I
gold
bought
is,
one
yeah.
a couple years ago.
Yeah,
So
nice. I know. Yeah, I know you're Richie Rich over
all
here
right,
with your
all
rollies
right,
and
all
whatnot.
right.
No, it's okay. We'll talk about it another time.
Well, hey,
But
buddy, yeah,
yeah, no,
let's.
I agree. But when it comes to crypto and so forth, like again, if the power goes out, EMG hits, whatever it is,
You need the
and you
physical
need to
gold.
do transactions, you need physical currency, right? You need something to be able to transact, right? World War III is full on and power infrastructure is down. How are you going to do transactions without physical gold or physical money, right? So
Right.
again, cryptocurrency. Again, I have a small position just for speculation, but it's nothing that I'm going to YOLO into. I think it's all about asset classes, investing in solid companies. I mentioned my docs picks for 2026. Again, I'm kind of focused on that. So, anyways, Pablo, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Thank you very much for joining me on this podcast, and I'd like to have you back if that's okay with you.
Oh, we'll be back. We'll be back.
Yeah, let's do
Love
this.
you, buddy.
All right, everybody. Hope you guys, everyone enjoyed this episode. If so, please be sure to subscribe, like, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.